Namaskar, everyone, and very happy that you've all decided to come to this short class also. It's an introduction basically to meditation, and I know there's a few meditators already, senior meditators on this class also, so hopefully you also be able to learn a few things. Now, meditation is quite popular. There's many groups teaching meditation, and so many different kinds of meditations are there. And so the question arises in people's mind, why should I do meditation? I have so many things to do. I'm so busy. You know, I have my work, I have family, I have so many things. I'm so busy, I don't have time for meditation. Well, it's a very good question, and also it deserves a very good answer. Now, whenever we do something, you know, as far as whatever we do, when we, you get on Zoom, you go on your computer, if you're viewing through your handphone, you know, you do certain things because you have a goal in mind. You want to attend this class. So you set up different things, you press buttons and you get it done. So you do that with a particular goal in mind. Now, human beings, we are goal-oriented, although some people say that it's not good to be goal-oriented, we should just go along the path like that, but it is human nature to be goal-oriented. So meditation also is goal-oriented. We hope to achieve something from the meditation, and understanding why you're doing meditation is a very important thing. Whenever you sit for meditation, you should understand why you're sitting. Now, in yoga, in Ananda Marga yoga, we say that everyone is looking for happiness. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you're looking for happiness. People, they climb the highest mountain, they go to the depths of the sea, they have their friends, their family, their relationship, their work. Everyone is looking for happiness in whatever they're doing. Nobody's looking to be sad, you know. Nobody is pursuing sadness. We're all pursuing something that we hope will make us happy. Whether you're thinking of eating a nice plate of food, or whether you're having some time with your friends, your family, whatever you're doing, you're looking for happiness. Now, accordingly, happiness is of two kinds. One is a temporary kind of happiness, and another is a permanent one. A temporary kind of happiness, in Sanskrit, actually it's known as sukha, same as in Malay. Sukha is a kind of happiness that lasts for a short time. Suppose, okay, you're hungry. Hopefully you've already finished your dinner. You are hungry before, and so you feel dukkha, you feel uncomfortable, basically. That's also a Sanskrit word. So you look for something to satisfy that feeling inside. You're feeling hungry. So you look for nice food. You eat the nice food, you eat one plate of food, you feel satisfied, and you feel sukha. Now, that is a temporary satisfaction, because eventually, after a few hours, you're going to be hungry again. Or even after eating, you'll think, oh yeah, I'd like to take something sweet, or I'd like to drink a cup of coffee, or I would like to, hopefully you don't smoke cigarettes, but many people smoke cigarettes. And something more will be there. It's not something that, it satisfied you temporarily, yes it did, but it did not satisfy you totally. There was more desires coming up. Now, we always think, of course, you eat one plate of food, you feel happy. If you eat 10 plates of food, will you feel 10 times as happy? It's a rhetorical question. I'm not asking for an answer. The answer is, of course, you will not. The sukha will become dukkha. You end up, you know, rushing to the toilet. You cannot handle 10 plates of food. It no longer gives you happiness. And you know, those people who get involved in drugs and even cigarettes, you know, if you're smoking one cigarette, you feel a certain thing. Okay, this feels very nice. After a while, you don't feel that certain amount of happiness from one cigarette, you need two, and then three and four. The same thing happens with drugs or any kind of addictive substance, that a person gets involved in these things because they're looking for happiness, and the happiness always seems to escape them. And it's characteristic of a human being to look for a happiness that lasts forever. We don't want the happiness to finish. We want it to continue. But what happens is the happiness stops. Sukha becomes dukkha, and then we look again for sukha. Animals are different. And this is a very important point to remember. The difference between humans and animals is that animals are satisfied with something limited, something finite. You give an animal a plate of food, they will eat only as much as they can, then they walk away. They don't think, oh, okay, I'm full, but let me save some for later, and then they bunkus in, they put in the refrigerator. They don't do that kind of thing. Animals don't do like that. They will walk away because they've been satisfied. It's a temporary one, and they're satisfied with a temporary happiness. But human beings are different. We are not satisfied with something temporary. We want something permanent. And that is why human beings do so many things that animals never do. We drive around in cars, we go to outer space, we live in space stations, we want to do so many things that animals never would even dream of doing. Because human beings have this desire for the infinite. And because this is a basic part of our life, that we should find some way to satisfy that. You may try to satisfy in your job. Now, your job maybe give you some satisfaction sometime and sometime not. Same with personal relationships. Even with money, you may think, oh yeah, if I get more money, everything will be fine. But once you get more money, you also want more money. That is the nature of it. So human beings, we want a happiness that lasts forever. But that's another kind of happiness because it's not associated with the nerves in your body. Like, let's say you eat one plate of food, you feel fine. If you eat 10 plates of food, the nerves in your body become stressed. And you feel dukkha, you feel sadness, you feel some pain. But there's another kind of happiness, not associated with the nerves in your body. It's something deep within you. And in Sanskrit, this is called Anandam. Anandam is that happiness, that infinite happiness that is within you. It's not outside. Happiness is never something outside of yourself. It is always something within. You can be in a very difficult situation and be perfectly happy. Or you can be in a very nice situation and be totally sad. It's because within you is the happiness. It's not external. Of course, like I said, you get some temporary happiness from things outside. But the permanent happiness is within. And you won't find it. You don't need to go to the Himalayas. You don't need to go to the Bahamas. You don't need to go to Mauritius, or travel anywhere to find this happiness because it's within you. There's no monopoly on this happiness. Nobody has a copyright on it. It's within you. And the pursuit of this happiness, this anandam, the way to find that anandam, in Sanskrit, the path is called Marga. So Ananda Marga is the path to find that happiness within you. So we teach a meditation that helps you find that happiness within you. And no matter what you do in your life, whatever job you have, whatever relationships you have, how much money you have, if you don't find that happiness, all those things will never satisfy you. You'll always be looking for something more. So why do meditation? If you don't do meditation, of course, you won't find the happiness. It's within you. Now, like I said, there's different kinds of meditation. But meditation to find happiness within is the kind of meditation we teach here. Now, when you do meditation, of course, you do not keep your eyes open. As I said, happiness is within. So you close your eyes, you don't listen to things, you don't speak anything, you sit quietly and you sit comfortably. And what you do is you have to learn to deal with your mind. Now, concentrating the mind is very important. You have a very useful tool. Your mind is very useful. It is something like a Lamborghini that you normally only drive to the supermarket and back. You never get on a highway. But when you learn meditation, you get on the highway and you learn how important and how powerful your mind is. Now, just like, of course, it's dark outside, but daytime, when the sun is shining everywhere. In fact, it's been very warm the past few days, so the sunshine is very strong. And you can go outside and you can feel the warmth on your skin because it's focused everywhere. But if you take a magnifying glass, you know, when we're kids, especially boys, they do this. They take a magnifying glass and they go and they burn leaves and burn different things because you concentrate that sunlight to a point. And what was just a few inches of sunlight now becomes something that can burn. It's focused, it's concentrated, just like a laser is normal light that they focus to a point. It can cut things, it can do surgery. It's much more powerful when it's concentrated, and same with your mind. Now, first you have to concentrate your mind. There's a characteristic of your mind also, and it's not really a secret. If you saw the movie The Secret, there's a different secret. That's no more secret. The mind itself, whatever you think about, it becomes like that. If you think positive things, the mind will become positive. If you think negative things, the mind will become negative. If you think during meditation, think of infinite happiness, Anandam, then you will get that. But to think like that, you have to learn to get control over your mind. So there's several tricks that in yoga that they have developed over thousands of years. The ancient yogis, the rishis, for thousands of years, they have experimented with the mind and they've come up with a system how to focus and how to concentrate the mind and to keep that concentration. But like all good things, it needs practice. It doesn't come automatically. So suppose, okay, you want to do meditation. You're sit, back should be straight. You can sit in a chair if you want, you can sit on the floor, but the back should be straight, and I'll explain why. Now, you close your eyes, and suppose, okay, you focus on something. Like I said, whatever you think about, your mind thinks about, you will get. Suppose you imagine an apple. Now, you don't have to do meditation on apples, okay? So, you imagine an apple, can be a green one, can be a red one, can whatever color you want, and that apple is in front of you. Now, how long you can maintain that image of an apple in your mind? This is an exercise, of course, to strengthen your concentration. How long you can maintain? After a few seconds, that apple maybe becomes an orange, maybe a worm comes out of it. Something will happen to that apple. It will change. Because the mind is not used to being held at a particular point for very long. You have to train it. Just like a wild horse is not used to being ridden. You get on the horse, it will throw you off if you can catch it. Same with your mind. It will want to run here and there, but you have to train it. Now, you're concentrating on an apple. Now, there is a secret, like I said, in meditation. If you can control your breathing, you can control your thoughts. Our thinking and our breathing is very much connected. Suppose you run up a flight of stairs. Okay, you run to the top of the stairs, breathing heavily, and somebody asks you a question. Hey, what is the telephone number of Mr. So-and-so, like that? Now, normally you know this telephone number, but because you're breathing heavily, you say, wait, let me catch my breath. Once you slow your breathing down, you control your breathing, then the telephone number pops in your head. Correct? Has anyone experienced that? Now, by controlling your breathing, you can control your thoughts, and you get control of your mind. So, in the meditation that we practice, you must learn to control your breathing. Now, another aspect of meditation is mantra. In our meditation, we teach a mantra also. And this mantra must follow the breathing. But what is mantra? And how does it help? Mantra, the word mantra is two words. One is man plus tra. Man means mind, and tra means to make free. It makes your mind free from other thoughts so you can focus on it. That is mantra. There are many mantras out there. So what is the speciality of a meditation mantra? Meditation mantra must have certain special things. Not any mantra will do, okay? There are so many on the marketplace there. A special mantra will have important things in it. This is where we get into the word Diiksha. I think you saw in the advertisement, Diiksha. A mantra must have several things. One is Deepa Gyan. Now, Deepa Gyan, this is a Sanskrit word. Deepa means light, just like Deepavali is coming up in a few weeks. Deepa means light. Gyan means knowledge. Whenever you go on a journey and the way is dark and you're not sure how to go, you need a flashlight, you need a torchlight, you need some source of light. So the mantra must help to illuminate the way, illuminate your mind, so that you understand in which direction you're going. This is called Deepa Gyan. And this Deepa Gyan has two things in it. One is called Mantra Chaitanya. Now, mantra, I explained already. Chaitanya means consciousness, to understand something. You must understand the meaning of the mantra. You don't repeat a mantra just like a bird, a parrot or something like that, like you're playing a CD over and over. That mantra will not help you. You have to understand the meaning of it. So it's Mantra Chaitanya. Mantra Chaitanya also has another aspect to it, in that the mantra that is given, special mantra for meditation, is given some power by the Guru. And I will explain that a bit later. So Mantra Chaitanya must be there to guide you along the way. And also, this mantra must have a rhythm to it. When I said you must get control over your breathing, now when you breathe, you do two things. You breathe in, you breathe out. You can hold your breath, but it's not sustainable. Take my word for it. When you're breathing in and you breathe out, you do two things, basically. So a mantra should follow your breathing, because you have to breathe. If you don't breathe, you won't do meditation. So you're following your breathing. The mantra must also follow the rhythm of your breathing. So mantra and breathing, you're learning to control your thoughts. The other aspect of mantra is what they call mantra agat. Now, agat means to beat. When you repeat a mantra and it's rhythmic, the rhythmic syllable, you breathe in, you repeat the first part of the mantra, you breathe out the second part of the mantra, and you keep in your mind the meaning of that mantra, then what happens is that your mind becomes focused on the meaning of the mantra, because you're controlling your breathing. And what it does, a mantra for meditation must be able to awaken the spiritual energy within you. Not just any word will do. That mantra must awaken the spiritual energy within you to help you on your spiritual path. In Sanskrit, that spiritual energy is known as Kundalini. Now, explaining Kundalini is a very long topic, and maybe I can get to that in another class. But just to note that a mantra for meditation, there are other mantras, but a mantra for doing proper meditation to find that happiness within you must have a meaning. You must know the meaning, and it must follow your breathing, and it must have the ability to waken up that spiritual energy within you. Now, we come to the word Diiksha. Di means light. Ksha comes from the word kshayam. Kshayam means something that removes obstacles within you. Now, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whenever you do an action, there is a reaction. Some people call it karma. In Sanskrit, it's known as samskara, means the potential of that reaction has not yet come. So whatever action you do, the reaction will come. It may not come immediately, it may come later on. It may come very much later on. Some people say maybe in other lives. These things are obstacles. They interfere with the meditation in the sense that, suppose you want to concentrate, you're concentrating, and then some thought comes into your mind of anything, maybe a red Lamborghini comes into your mind. You always wanted a red Lamborghini. So that desire to want one is there, and it reflects in your meditation. So this is always actually going on in your mind, all these different thoughts. But because we're not focused internally, we're not aware of these thoughts. But when you do meditation, you realize there's so many thoughts going on, going. So a mantra must also have the ability to remove obstacles within you. That is kshayam. So di plus ksha, diksha. That is the meaning of diksha. We put the word initiation, but actually there is no proper English word for what I just described. Initiation means to start something in your life, which of course, when you don't learn meditation, you are starting something new in your life. You initiate something, initiate a conversation, you initiate, a plan. So it's to start something new in your life. But Diiksha is much more than that. So you're sitting there, you imagine an apple. So if mentally you want to imagine an apple, of course, you would repeat apple, apple, breathing in, apple, breathing out, apple, breathing in, apple, breathing out, apple. But that works only for a very short time. Because eventually you start thinking, apple, apple, I'm getting hungry, apple, apple. So there must be a meaning to that. So don't do meditation on apples, you just get hungry. You should meditate on something. So when we teach meditation, each person gets a personal mantra. We have different levels of meditation. There's a beginner meditation that we teach, and it's all free of cost because it's not that only rich people can learn meditation. Everyone should have access to meditation. So in Ananda Marga, we don't charge money for learning meditation. It's all free of cost. And total, there are 6 lessons, and people can learn as they like. If they like just the first lesson, they can progress on to the others. If they're happy just with one lesson, fine also. And it's all free of cost. So a person practices, and the mind, of course, you will find that your mind is difficult to control. But as you keep going, keep learning to control your breathing, focusing on the mantra and the meaning of the mantra, then you will find it becomes easier. Just like any exercise. Suppose you want to jog 5 kilometers. You cannot start out jogging 5 kilometers. You start out maybe 500 meters. It's also very far. If you just do 50 meters, you may be out of breath. But slowly you build up. And as you practice more and more, you can attain more and more Anandam in your life. Now, as I said, happiness is within. And to find that happiness, you need a proper mantra. You need Diiksha in that sense. So meditation, without Diiksha, you will not find the proper happiness. You want happiness, you need Diiksha. So as you do the meditation, you will find that it's not just an inner journey. No person is an island. If you go to the Himalayas and want to do meditation in a cave without any disturbances, you'll find that as you're sitting, eventually you will get hungry because the body needs food. So you will start to think about food. You won't be thinking about your mantra. So we always have to maintain some balance in our life. You have to work, you have your family responsibilities, you have your hopes and your dreams and everything. At the same time, you have to include meditation in your lifestyle. This will round it off. A human being is not just a physical being. We're not satisfied with just food. We need excitement, we need hope, we need our dreams, and we need a spiritual base to our life. So a human being is physical, mental, and spiritual. These three energies form a triangle, you know. We need to balance all these three. You can't just do spiritual, spiritual, spiritual because you'll get hungry eventually. And it can't just work, work, work because eventually you'll feel exhausted. You need the mental stimulation and you need spiritual stimulation. So a person doing meditation needs to maintain a balance in their life. You need to maintain your activity, what you do to yourself personally and also to others. So there are 10 principles in yoga that should be followed by everyone. And those 10 principles in Sanskrit are called Jama and Niyama. Jama and Niyama. The first 5 of Jama are more focused on the external world. So the first one is called Ahimsa. Ahimsa means not to cause harm to others consciously. It means you don't plan to hurt other people. This is an important thing because sometimes you do something with all the good intentions of your heart and it causes harm to others. Or sometimes you do something in your mind is not to harm anybody at all. You're thinking something totally different, but what you do causes harm to others. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking is you don't plan to harm others because other things are accidents. But if you plan to harm others, that is an incident. And you should not do that. It's a very big subject, ahimsa. But the idea is that don't plan to harm others. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot protect yourself. You do need to protect yourself. If, let's say, a mosquito is coming to bite you, and mosquitoes carry viruses, okay. You need to be able to protect yourself from that mosquito. You cannot check the mosquito. They don't have any way to check the mosquito to see if there's a virus there, mosquito viruses. So you have to assume the mosquito is carrying dengue or malaria. So you have the right to either shoo away the mosquito or even to kill the mosquito because you need to protect your own life. Your thought in your mind is not, I want to kill mosquitoes, but I want to protect myself. So you have the right to protect yourself. It's not that you move your whole life, you cannot hurt or cause harm to others, but you don't plan to do it. There's a very big difference there. Ahimsa, Satya. Satya means to tell the truth. Now, normally, 99.9% of the time, we should always tell the truth. We should not tell lies. But there are times when, if we tell the truth, it may cause harm to someone else. Suppose someone is a heart patient or they're of ill health, and someone very close to them has passed away. Now, you have to break the news to them. So you may tell them, oh, this person, they are not feeling well and they've gone into the hospital, and slowly, slowly you break the news to them. It may be over several days. You don't immediately say to them, hey, this person has just died, because if they're in a delicate condition, if they're a heart patient, they also might die in front of you. So the truth should be told properly with the idea for the welfare of the other person. But 99.9% of the time, you tell the truth. Don't tell the truth to save yourself. Tell the truth to save others. That is satya. Asteya. Asteya means not to steal. Of course, we know. Something belongs to someone else. We don't take it. If we want to utilize that, we ask permission from the person. Okay? If they say no, then we don't use it. If they say yes, okay, we use it. And we use it responsibly. Same thing goes for intellectual property. If somebody has done something great and we utilize that, we should not take responsibility. We should not take credit for that, I should say. So asteya. Brahmacharya. Now, this infinite happiness that I explained, that is within you, actually exists everywhere in all the creation. And in Sanskrit, you can say it is the idea of God, the infinite consciousness. In Sanskrit, it's called Brahma. Brahma means creator, but Brahma, Parama Brahma, is the infinite that exists everywhere, in everything. Everything you can see, feel, touch, everything you can imagine, everything that has ever been created and ever existed is called Brahma or Parama Brahma. That is the infinite. Parama Brahma is also Anandam. It's also the bliss. So Brahmacharya. Charya means to move. It's a very interesting word. Sanskrit has various words for moving. It means to move while eating. Now, if you've ever seen a cow, here I'm staying in Kinta Valley near Perak, near Ipoh, Batu Gajah, and there's a lot of cows here. So cows, when they move, they eat grass, okay. So move while eating. Now, as we are moving in this life, we are getting a lot of sensory information in our eyes, in our ears, in our nose, in our mouth. All this information, it's going into our brain. It is, in a sense, we are eating that information. It is going into us. In practicing brahmacharya, we must imagine, we must see things, everything that we see around us, everything we experience as a manifestation of the infinite consciousness, which is in everything and everybody. That will help your mind to adjust with things in this world. Yes, we have to deal with things in this world on an individual level. Different people, different things, but they are all manifestations of the infinite Parama Brahma. So we keep that in mind. The fifth point on Jama is called aparigraha. Now, aparigraha means to lead your life in a simple way. Don't make it so complicated. There are people that, because of pursuit of happiness externally, they make their lives very complicated. Just have the things that you need for your existence. In this world, there is enough of resources for everyone to survive, more than enough. But when you take more than you need, then other people, they go without. If a certain political person in a particular country has 10,000 shoes, that means there's 9,999 people without shoes, almost. There are a lot of shoes, yes. And there are a lot of people, but the resources are finite. So whatever we need for our existence, we use that. Don't try to accumulate more because your life will become very complicated. Keep things simple. That is aparigraha. In niyama, there are 5 points. One is shaucha. Shaucha means cleanliness. Of course, we keep our body clean. We should keep our environment clean. This will also help to maintain our mental balance. If the room is dirty or if there's smells or everything, it disturbs the mind. But also, not only our external environment, also our internal environment. I'm not just talking about your stomach and your intestines. I'm talking about the mind. The mind also must remain clean. Don't put a lot of dirty things there. Dirty things meaning things that cause us distress. Yes, we have to deal with things. We deal with them in a positive way, in a creative way, and we find solutions for them. But don't keep negativity in the mind. Sometimes it's easy to criticize and condemn other people and things. It will make your mind also negative. Like I said, as you think, so you become. That is the quality of the mind. So we try to keep our mind also clean. That comes to the next point of niyama. That is called santosha. Santosha means mental balance. Neither too happy nor too sad. Now people would think, okay, too sad is bad, but why not too happy? Well, you know, in life, there will be sukha and dukkha. That is part of life. You cannot avoid that. There will be happiness and sadness. And just like any movie, it makes it interesting. Of course, we don't pursue the sadness. We always look for the happiness, but we also need to deal with things properly. If your mind remains in a balanced condition, whether people praise you or condemn you, your mind will remain the same. That will help you. That will strengthen your mind and strengthen your nervous system, and it will help you in your meditation if you have a strong mind. Third point is called tapa. That is not the city, tapa. It's spelled the same way. Tapa means, you know, as a spiritual person, it's important to help others. To one intellectual I heard, he said, you have not lived until you have learned to love another more than yourself. You have not lived unless you've learned to love another more than yourself. And this is very true. It's important for a spiritual person to do spiritual practice. I will get into that more also. Service. We should help others. When we see people suffering, you cannot remain silent when you see others suffering. You have to help them. As a good person. But one is for you to help someone. Another is to help someone where you take some difficulty on yourself. An example would be, suppose you had a hard day at work, you come home, you want to relax, watch a little television, whatever, however you want to relax, and somebody calls you up and they need your help. They really need your help. Now you had planned to relax, you had planned to do something for yourself, but now somebody needs your help. So you put yourself aside and you go to help them. You decide to do that. So not they decide to do it. You have decided to do that. And what this does is, because you're thinking more about other people, it builds character. And it also builds your nervous system. It helps you to tolerate things a little more because you're taking some trouble onto yourself. Just like the story of a group of people. I think it's a biblical story. Good Samaritan, those who know anything about Christianity. A group of people were going to a program, a spiritual program. They were all going to this spiritual program. And along the way, there was a poor person, who needed some help. So everyone, they saw the poor person, and the poor person said, please help me, I need help. And they were thinking, no, I want to go to this spiritual program, you know, and they passed the person by. So many people came. But one person thought, I'm going to a spiritual program, and here's a wonderful opportunity for me to help this person. Okay, I want to attend the program, but I will sacrifice that and I will do something to help this person. That's called a good Samaritan because the person was from a village where the people were called Samaritans. So in this way, you sacrifice something of your personal enjoyment instead to help others. This builds character. This is called tapa. The fourth point is called swadhyaya. Swadhyaya, this is a Sanskrit term. It means to have proper understanding of what you're doing. You're doing meditation. You're learning meditation. You need to understand how the mind works, how you are to do things, what you should do, what you should not do. Along the way, of course, your mind will develop, you will develop certain qualities. So you have to understand all these things. So you need to read and to understand these things. And of course, we have a lot of books here in Ananda Marga, and those are very important to read and to understand, not just to read, but understand. The last point on this is called Ishvara Pranidhan. Now, Ishvara means God, the controller. Everything controls everything in life. You know, people say, oh, which God is that? Actually, there is, anyway, for us, there is only one God, but so many names. Just like you as an individual, you are one, but you have so many names. If you're a man, you are somebody's son, you are somebody's father, you are somebody's friend, you are somebody's colleague, you have so many things. You have so many names, even though you're one person. So in that way, God also has so many names, but it is a singular entity because infinity cannot be more than one. Infinity is always one. Ishvara controls everything. Pranidhan means to take shelter. It's also known as an umbrella, a pranidhan. You take shelter, like you take shelter in the rain, you have an umbrella. In our life, there are many things that we have control over. What you want to speak, what you want to say, what you want to do, you should have control over those things. But there are some things in life that you have no control over. Maybe it is your karma. You have to deal with it. If an earthquake happens, if a flood happens, these are things you have no control over. You have to deal with them. Taking shelter under Ishvara, understanding that you sometimes have to surrender to things, to forces that are greater than yourself. And once you surrender, your mind remains at peace and at ease. So in this way, these 10 principles of Jama Niyama help to maintain calmness in your nervous system, calmness in your mind, and will help you very much in your spiritual practice. Now, I've explained what you do internally and also what you do externally. These things must balance. We are human beings. We live physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's a triangle. Now, there's a symbol that was developed by our guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti, and it takes symbols from ancient times. And the symbol is called pratik, okay? Pratik means symbol in Sanskrit. You can see here. Okay, it probably because it reverses it, the swastika is reversed, but it should be the other way. If you'll see this, there is a triangle pointing up, and there's a triangle pointing down. This represents two things. The triangle pointing up represents your actions in life, how you treat others, how you deal with situations in your life. It represents action. Your action should be good, should be helpful to others, just like I explained the points of Jama Niyama. The Jama part, you are dealing with external people, you're dealing with things. You must do so in a way that helps others, not hinders them. Then there is the down pointing triangle. That represents knowledge. You are going within. You are learning to progress on a spiritual path with your mantra, with your Deepa Gyan, with your torchlight. So you're finding your inner self, the supreme consciousness, the Anandam within you. Those two must balance. You cannot go into the Himalayas, like I said, sit in a cave, because eventually you'll get hungry. And you cannot work because eventually you'll feel totally unsatisfied with life. It must balance. So these two triangles, this is not, of course, some people know it as Star of David, but this is long before David. David was maybe a good chap, he's a good fellow, a good king, but this was much before him. This, according to what we know, our guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti, he said, this six-pointed star and this symbol was, of the six-pointed star, was invented by Sadashiva. And he taught this to his kids and taught also to his disciples, this symbol. It's a very ancient symbol. Now, if you lead a balanced life, your inner development with your outer development means you have time for both, and you do have time for both, then there is progress in your life. So progress is this rising sun here. This is a rising sun. So in your life, there will be progress if you lead a balanced life. And when you lead a balanced life, like I said, life has a goal. You have a goal, a spiritual goal in your life, and that is represented by the swastika. The swastika, this symbol here, not a symbol of Nazi Germany. They use it, but in the wrong way. It is a very ancient symbol. It goes back into the mists of time. In every continent on this earth where there are people, they have used this symbol. It represents a spiritual goal. You'll see it on some temples of different religions. Represents the goal of life. So this is known as pratik. It is a symbol of yoga. And it was developed by our guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti. Now, what is guru? Explain this in just a few minutes. What is guru? We know, of course, in Malay, guru means teacher. And many people say, yeah, gurus are teachers. But not exactly. Guru is a very wonderful word. The Sanskrit word, gu, actually it's two words, gu plus ru. Gu means darkness. And ru means that entity, that being which can remove the darkness. That is guru. Now we know, okay, teachers should be doing that, of course. When the student is ignorant, they don't know things, and a teacher goes there, they teach them something, it removes their ignorance, it removes the darkness of their ignorance. But in yoga, in spirituality, a guru is something much, much more. Now, I am not a guru. I'm not anyone's guru. Okay, in Ananda Marga, I'm an Acharya. Acharya means teacher. We teach by example. So as we do our lives, as we live our life, we try to lead the proper life, the perfect life. So that's an Acharya. We teach. So in spiritual practice, in meditation, in Diiksha, the role of the guru is very important. Now, who is that spiritual guru that removes the ignorance from the person who is practicing spiritual practice? Now, we, as human beings, we've done so many things in our life. We have karma, we have things that are, you can say, suppressing us in a sense. We feel such a heavy load in our mind. Whenever people feel a bit of freedom, they feel fantastic, It's like after so many months, of lockdown, when they open up, people They feel fantastic. Let's go, let's go. I want to go here and there. We feel this feeling, of being after being suppressed for so long, the weight is lifted, and we feel this happiness, this freedom. And in our life, of course, there are many things that many burdens we do carry. And when you do meditation, when you get Diiksha, then your mind starts to grow and develop, and you start to learn to deal with all these difficulties and burdens in life. So a guru, a spiritual guru, is one that can free you from those difficulties in life. You still have to face difficulties, but not as a burden, as a challenge. So guru is very important. Guru is always there to help and always with you. But like I said, there's so many gurus. Yeah, there are also so many spiritual gurus, and they're doing very good work, yes. But can they give this Ananda, this internal thing, can they help the spiritual aspirant, the meditator, to achieve that? For that, you need a special guru. Now, as I said before, Parama Brahma, the infinite consciousness, the supreme consciousness exists in everything, is also the guru in a cosmic sense. But occasionally, where people's lives, where things become very difficult in their lives, there's a special manifestation. It's not that God comes to this green earth, not like Avatar. No, because if Parama Brahma exists in everything, God does not have to descend. So there's no avatar in that sense. It's not an avatar. It's not a guru. It's not an avatar. But as we are also born on this earth, and we manifest in this world, so there are special manifestations, and certain spiritual beings, spiritual teachers are manifested. And the one who can give this particular kind of mantra, like I said, mantra Chaitanya has a particular energy from the guru that can help to awaken this spiritual energy within you. That particular entity is called Taraka Brahma. Taraka means bridge between this world and the next world. The next world meaning the infinite. We live in a finite world, the infinite world within you. So a guru, a meditation guru, must be able to help a person to traverse from this finite world to the world of bliss. In ancient times, Sadashiva was one such Taraka Brahma manifested in this world. He's the father of yoga, you can say. He changed things in this world, left behind wonderful legacy. To this day, people are still worshipping him. And there was Krishna, also another Taraka Brahma, a special manifestation, taught the world about bhakti and devotion. And maybe it's just me, but I feel that my guru, Sri Sri Anandamurti, is also a manifestation of that Taraka Brahma, because he has given so many things to help people along the spiritual path, as well as how to create a proper society where people have an environment where they can do spiritual practice. Right now, society is in such a difficult state. It's difficult to focus on spiritual things. We think and we are taught that physical things are more important than spiritual, when it's actually just the opposite. So to create a proper environment, Sri Sri Anandamurti has come also, and also has taken the ancient practices given by Sadashiva and has adjusted them for the modern world. He's done a lot more. There's so many things I could talk about my guru. So guru is a very important part for a spiritual aspirant in practicing meditation. And as I said, I'm not the guru. Guru is Parama Brahma, and Sri Sri Anandamurti, who came to this world to make this world a better place, is Taraka Brahma. So that is basically my talk. I hope that any of you out there, that if you have any questions, maybe we can have a short question and answer time, if anyone is interested.
If anyone have question, you can ask now.
We are 28 people. I hope nobody went to sleep.
Hello.
Yeah, I see
Dada?
Mr. Velukana and Prema. You want to ask questions?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, go ahead,
Can you
please.
all hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Dada. Thank you for the wonderful discourse that you've given.
Okay.
And thank you so much. Namaskar. And it's very enlightening. You have touched a broad subject, a lot of topics. And I was busy writing and, and I was like, wow, okay. A lot of topic within 1 hour session. So I think I've got a lot of things to ask you, but I will just stick to one question at this time. Okay, thank you. To receive a spiritual awakening, we as humans, we are all busy with our day-to-day life, doing our human things like going to work, starting a family and all, and whatnot. But then there is the spiritual awakening portion that comes to a few select of us, not for everyone. Would you say that we are destined to receive this? This is part of our birth's, this particular birth's meaning and function to actually receive that. And we should do something about it once we are pushed towards that.
Yeah, in what I understand, of course, everyone is on a spiritual path. We may not be aware of that. A lot has to do, of course, with how we are taught, how we grow up, where we grow up. Some people do grow up in a spiritual environment. They are aware, they're on a spiritual path. But there's not a lot of people. That's something I hope will change, that more people become more spiritual. I think it would make a very wonderful world if we did. So that's, of course, why we promote meditation. We want to teach meditation. And yeah, that people, as they're moving on the spiritual path, they need to recognize these things. But at the same time, you cannot say that, okay, I have to go to work, I have to raise a family, I have my hopes and dreams, I have my career, but I don't have time for meditation, because meditation should be an integral part of your life. It's just like eating, We don't say, okay, today I'm so busy, didn't have time to eat, maybe tomorrow. No, we include eating as something essential. And meditation itself should be just as essential as eating and sleeping and all the things we consider are basics for us. And we will find that meditation will enhance and also help the things that you do when you involve with other people, like your career, your family, your job. You will enhance those things and make them much more enjoyable and much more pleasurable. And you'll find that the experiences that you have in life with your family, with your job, your friends, and everything that you experience, you will see them in a different light. Maybe not as, good and bad, but more what a person would see as challenges in life. Things that I need to work on myself. Like, let's say somebody in your work always makes you angry. So you don't like to go to work, you don't want to confront that person. But if you see it as a challenge, you think, why is that person making me angry? What is triggering something in me? So you start to look at your own self. Okay, maybe the person is not a good person, but I can learn something from them. here is now a very difficult situation that I'm in. What can I learn from that? What can I gain from this? And can I use this also to my realization to help others also? So people should not think that, okay, after I retire, then I can do meditation. No, even from the age of 5 years old, even small children can learn to focus their mind, control their breath, and they can do a very simple meditation. Short, of course, because attention span is short at that age. But it should be a part and parcel of everyone's life. I hope, did I answer it okay?
Yes, Dada, thank you so much.
Okay. Someone wrote about Diiksha. I did not catch that.
Okay.
Can you read that? Because
Yes, Dada. So
okay.
the question is, may I know what is the process of Diiksha?
Process of Diiksha is, one is that, and we teach this, of course, you learn a proper form of meditation. When you practice it, then you, of course, are doing the other part of the Diiksha. Diiksha has two parts. One is the theoretical part, the other is the practical side. So as you practice, you are experiencing your Diiksha. Some people see that, Diiksha is, oh, I go to the Guru will bless me, and my life will become wonderful after that. That is not what we call Diiksha. Diiksha means that you get a proper meditation mantra and you start to practice. And along the way, of course, you have questions. As an Acharya, I can help you with those. And you do your spiritual journey. The Diiksha unfolds during your whole lifetime. It's not just a one-off thing, It unfolds you during your whole life. So you learn the proper meditation, you practice these things, and you will find that just like a flower, sometimes they show the lotus flower, it's closed, and slowly it opens like that. So slowly your life will also be like that. Your life, it will slowly blossom, and you'll realize many things in life. And you'll realize that actually life is not some full of dread and difficulty. It's not just sukha and dukkha. It's also anandam. Okay. I hope did I answer that correctly?
Yes, correct. I understand. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure, good. That's
Initial,
important.
my understanding is a guru to give you the Diiksha. That's what I understand previously. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Yeah. It's important. I can speak, I can talk for hours and hours, but if people don't understand me, then it doesn't work. Yeah.
Any other question? Yes, Prema, you have questions? Okay, in the beginning, I was not prepared to introduce Dada. So now I introduce Dada. Okay, Acharya Viitaragananda Avadhuta is a monk, yoga trainer, and meditation instructor of Ananda Marga Yoga, an organization which has been established worldwide and has been in service with this organization since 1987. Acharya has been teaching yoga, meditation, and social service in Ananda Marga in 17 different countries for the last 34 years. He has completed his senior Acharya and Visesh yoga training and has been rendering his service in Malaysia since 2004. So I hope I introduced you well done.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed anything.
It's okay.
Any other question?
Yes, if nobody else is asking anything, can I ask another follow-up question?
Sure, no problem.
All right, thank you, Dada. As I understand, meditation can help us cope with the stresses of day-to-day living, work, family, friends, maybe paying taxes and all that. Yeah, so we have to deal with all that. Yeah. And the meditation helps that. It calms our mind, makes it balance, and all those wonderful stuff. Then there is another thing that meditation does for those who want to step into the path of attaining mukti, to actually forego all of this samskara to be born again. And we just want to be away from all this. But the process is the same, which is meditation. So meditation can calm our mind to be in the samskara, and meditation can also elevate us to be away from it, from the samskara. Is it the same process in the fundamental level, or we have to do a different level of meditation?
Well, it's more like a process in a sense. You know, so like you said, some of the benefits are that the mind becomes calm and becomes peaceful, in the sense that your mind can be focused. It's not disturbed by other things. So that when you face difficulties, which we all face difficulties in this world, or you face challenges, as I like to say, then you're able to deal with them because your mind is calm. It's not disturbed so much. There was some of you anyway who know there's Indian Mahabharata, one kind of story. It's very nice. If you learn, and one of the characters in there, his name was Yudhisthira. Now, if you understand the Sanskrit meaning of his name, Jud means war, and Stira means to remain calm. So a person who can remain calm even in battle is Yudhisthira. So life is sometimes like a battle, you know, paying taxes. So when you're in that, then you can maintain a calm mind, but it's not a goal in of itself. Yes, it's nice and it helps, but what is your goal? What do you hope to achieve? And like you said, there are people who eventually they realize that a lot of the things, yes, I have duties and responsibilities in this life, and I also have hopes and dreams. But after achieving your hopes and dreams, you know, you find out that there's actually something more deep inside. There's something that you got, but it was not something physical. It was something deep inside of you changed. And sometimes your life changes and you go in different directions. And you'll find that as you are moving along, that your mind and your spirituality progresses, and that you will find that your outlook on things change. Instead of, you know, what can I get from life? You start to think, what can I give to life? What can I give to others? What can I do for others? And in that way, you start to understand that there is something greater in life than just your relationships, although they are important, your goals and hopes and dreams in life. There's something else that is carrying you forward. And you want to only focus on that. So other things tend to be, somebody called them burdens or samskaras or karma or whatever. And as you do meditation and you move spiritually, you'll find that those burdens, one by one, you learn to deal with them and you start to feel more light. Just like we had, you know, so many months of lockdowns, and now that things are open and, you know, you feel so light, you feel so much energy. Same as if you carry a heavy load your whole life and then you set it down, you will realize, wow, I was carrying that heavy load so long time. Now I feel so light and free. What about the other burdens I'm carrying? Let me try to unload those things. So the happiness that one receives from being free, like mukti or moksha, becomes a prime, you can say, prime driver in life. And instead of, I want to accumulate more and more things, is what can I release? What can I give to others? So I think that's part of the spiritual path. And yeah, eventually people, they will come to that point, I think.
All right, Dada. Thank you so much.
Okay. Somebody said, what is the difference between Acharya and Guru, I think? Yeah. Guru, like I said, is something much more. A Guru is already free, and it's free from all the bondages in this world. They are free to bring people on the path of freedom, on the path of mukti or moksha, as they call these Sanskrit terms. Acharya is a teacher. We teach by example. Myself, I'm also a spiritual practitioner, just like any other person. Of course, Ananda Marga and Acharya, what we do is we don't have families. We're like monks and nuns. And we spend all our time helping others. Of course, we have to maintain some basic things for ourselves, but we devote our whole life to help others. So as Acharya, we're also known as a WT or whole timer. So we are teaching. We are teaching by example. We teach through classes. We teach through different things, and we help people physically, mentally, and spiritual to progress. A guru will be that entity which liberates you from the, like I said, the burdens that we carry. You can say your karma or samskaras, and you start to feel this sense of freedom. It's something that I cannot give you. I don't give mantras. Gurus give mantras, mantras that will help liberate you and make you feel more free. So gurus are different from Acharya in that way. Although Guru teaches, yes, Guru does teach, but the Guru guides and brings you to that point where you can become free and totally happy. Okay, any other questions? Okay, namaskar, Rajeshwari.
I think Prema Kumar, she wanted to ask a question, but not audible.
Can you hear me, Anand?
Yes, can hear you now.
Just now my amplifier is on. I can't get through. Dada Namaskar, Prema Kumar from Singapore.
Namaskar, Prem Kumar, yes.
How are you? Okay.
Good, good. Long time.
Yeah, long time. I have something in mind to inquire. I don't know whether it's appropriate to answer, but you decide, okay? When we do our Ishta mantra, and then we do our mantra ideation, there are two things. Which one should we focus? Huh?
Yeah.
How much can only focus one thing? Huh?
Well, it's a bit of multitasking in that sense. I think the thousands of years old of multitasking. For those of you who are not aware, Ishta mantra is the personal mantra that you receive. We also teach that. And for different people, it's a different mantra. And there are two things. When you're doing the meditation, you are mentally repeating the mantra, but there's an idea behind it also. You know, that you want that anandam, you want that bliss. You know, bliss is all around you, and I want that. At the same time, you're repeating this mantra, just like, you know, when we repeat words, you know, these words also have meanings. I'm trying to convey a meaning to you, so I'm using all these words. And I may use a special word like a Sanskrit word, which has very deep meaning. Of course, I will try to explain it. But same like when we do conversation, when we're repeating things, we're trying to communicate something to others. And when we're doing meditation, we're trying to communicate something to ourselves. So that mantra that we're repeating also has a meaning. So we try to do both at the same time. It takes practice, you know, because we just repeat. Oh, I forgot the ideation. Okay, ideation. Oh, I forgot to repeat. So it, you know, it comes to a point where the word that you're repeating, your mantra, is just like other words that you're using, but has some special meaning. And when you're repeating it, you keep the meaning there. So that takes a bit of practice, though. But
yeah, Dada, this thing Ishta mantra is one thing. What about Ishta chakra?
Yes. In our practices, for those who are not aware, we have an Ishta chakra. Means in the physical body, there are particular points that help us, or the controlling points for our physical body, and also work in our nervous system, also affect us mentally. So, like, everyone has different karma. We all have different. We're all different, you know. I look different from everyone else, I'm sure, in the participants, 23 participants we have here. So, and this is all due to our past actions, our karma. We're all born in different places and everything. So, of course, for someone to do a particular meditation, they may use a general chakra or something like that, a concentration point, or like in our system, a person is given a Ishta chakra, also means a particular point for them to concentrate on and meditate. And that is very helpful as an aid to meditation. It's just like you have a door that you want to open, you have a key. Now, you have to put that key in, maybe you have to turn it so many times to the left, so many times to the right, because it's a difficult lock, you know. And so you have to have different things there. So same when you do on the spiritual path, you have your Ishta chakra, which is a point of meditation, and you have also your Ishta mantra that you repeat, and also the ideation of that mantra. So it's something like juggling, you know, how they juggle the ball like that. And the reason why it seems like so many things you have to do, because the mind is such that if you give the mind a little bit of freedom, it will go somewhere else. So if you're just repeating your mantra like that, and there's no ideation, you will start thinking about something else, and the mantra is like going on automatically. You know, you may start thinking about, oh, I have to like pay my taxes, I have to do this, I have to, you know, I locked my keys in the car and I have so much trouble. And so your mind is doing two things at once, in a sense that something is going on automatically and something you're focusing on. So the idea in meditation is you focus on the mantra, you focus on particular point, a chakra, and the ideation, and it keeps your mind busy and hence focused on one thing. And just like I mentioned before, when you're outside and the sun is shining, you feel the warmth of the sun on you, but if you focus it to a point with a magnifying glass, it can burn. So similarly, our mind has so much potential. If we learn to focus it on a particular point, a particular idea, then it has more effect. And that particular Ishta chakra is just like a special point in your body where you focus there, and that will help you spiritually. It's something like a designer meditation that you focus on, and it helps you much more than if you just do a normal mantra or a very simple mantra.
Thank you, Dada. So nice to
Yeah.
see you. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Nice to hear from you again.
So any other question before we end the call? If not, then Dada, you want to have any concluding word, and then we can end the call.
I'm very happy that people showed up and had the patience to listen to me for so long, talking and talking. And I hope that everyone got something from this talk. That's why I do these things. And I hope that if you haven't learned meditation, you do try to learn meditation, give it a try, make it a part of your life. If you're already doing meditation, of course, go on, continue with your meditation, try to go for more lessons and make it a more regular part of your life. And then I hope also to see you more in more talks, and then we can talk about more very interesting subjects. The topic of meditation and all this is very huge and covers a lot of things. So I hope that if you all agree, then I can also give some more talks, and hopefully you'll find it fruitful and something you can use in your daily life. Okay, thanks. Namaskar, everyone.